Hello, my Gemini journalist fans. A warm welcome back to my channel, The Gemini Journalist. I know I have been missing in action for quite some time, but I must really apologize. And I'm back here to read and sway you away as usual. I have been experiencing some technical difficulties, but I'm back with you to continue on my journey here with the readings from the chapters of my novel, The Rookie, The Royal Wedding. So if you are joining us for the very first time, please ensure that you hit that subscribe button. Ensure you tap that bell. You don't want to miss upcoming notifications or the good things that are happening here on the Gemini Journalist. Remember, at the end of the video, if you enjoyed what you saw here, please hit like. Ensure you hit that share button. Tell a friend, your neighbor, you name it. Bring someone on the journey with you as you join me weekly on my journey here on the Gemini Journalist as a Jamaican author. Without further delay, let's just dive right in it. The Rookie, The Royal Wedding. Chapter 8, The FBI Takes Over. Toby Jr. had already expected to see Augustus. His father had already given him the heads up that Augustus and Helena were coming, but what he did not do was share his dark secret. Pleased to meet you. I am Augustus Royal, and I am pretty sure your father gave you an idea I was coming. Oh, I know who you are. So where's your lady friend? I met with her many times too. She's sitting out for this one. She had a few targets to meet. Augustus asked Toby to share his story before he bombarded him with all the questions he had for him. Augustus appeared more outspoken when he was alone than the times he was accompanied by Helena. She would take charge of the floor, and he was attracted by the way she handled her clients. A mixture of hard and soft, all tied in a nutshell. Your father had already paved the road for you, so what I want to know is how you got involved. Adam is just about my age range. My old guy thought the company would be great for me, but he seemed to be more attracted to the dock and my father's work more than hang with a nerd like me. I skateboard and listen to rock music all the time. My pops, on the other hand, is a fishing king. As the dawn of the sea, Adam saw that as a jackpot to his plan. That still does not tell me how you got in. Got in? I never got in. This was all him. Adam did all the smuggling, and my father just tugged along like a dog on a leash. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. How did you discover your dad's involvement? Toby glanced through the window. My old man was drinking again. Augustus sat upright in his chair, anxious to hear what was coming. I never saw him drink after he quit when Mom died more than 4 years ago. He seemed so distracted, so uneasy and frightened, a mixture of all sorts of emotions. Toby sighed. He leaned forward and looked Augustus in the eyes and said, These men deserve to die. I watched as they tortured Pops to the limit. The guy dropped his drinking habits for Mom, for me, for us. Tears filled his eyes. I'm sorry, Toby. I think that'll be all for today. Augustus rose from his seat. Just as he was about to walk away, Toby grabbed his wrist. Please do the best you can to shut these motherfuckers down. They do not deserve the life of freedom. Neither do they deserve to live. Augustus pulled his wrist from Toby's hands and walked away. Toby remained seated until the buzzer went off and the guards escorted all the inmates back to their cells. I believe I have all the evidence to go to trial with Jacob, sir. Thomas was busy watching the air go by. Sir? Huh? Oh, yes, Royal. Come in. What can I do for you now? Everything okay with you, sir? Yes, in fact, I was just captivated by the way things change so fast in such little time, while we are here caught up with all this paperwork. Sitting around his desk, Thomas invited Augustus in and asked him to close the door. So tell me, Royal, what makes you so confident that you can nail this bugger? The hard evidence you asked me to come up with, sir. Very well then, I'll do my part. Hey, Royal. Yes, sir. Could you just pull up the door behind you as you leave? Augustus was concerned about his strange behavior, but he was more concerned about nailing the big jerk, who got on his nerves the very day he walked in, joined the force, and took over his spot as Helena's partner, used her, used the team, and put the entire department under scandal. Augustus sat at his desk going through files. Though he was more concerned about his big case, he was a bit worried about Thomas and the way he appeared lost during their conversation. It seemed to Augustus that something was bothering him. He picked the phone up, dialed Helena's number. Augustus Royal. Augustus heard an unfamiliar voice call his name. He immediately disconnected the line and spun around to see Thomas standing in the hallway with a huge fellow. He rose from his seat and met with them midway the passage. Thomas gestured for Augustus to enter the office, then the gentleman followed just before Thomas did, shutting the door behind them. Please have a seat, gentlemen. Thomas made his way around his desk, took a seat, and introduced the big fellow to Augustus. Augustus, this is Bob Geraldo. He is captain of the ship for the FBI agents. He is here to meet with us both and assist our team where possible. Assist or take over, sir? Thomas refrained from answering his question and indicated to Geraldo to take charge of their meeting. Geraldo rose from his seat, walked over to the window with his hands in his pockets. He pulled a pen and notebook from the left pocket of his jacket, flipped a couple of pages, then said, So, Mr. Royal, I understand your take on all this. However, with your Chief Warren and Jacobs, the new recruit, in custody, it definitely does not look well on this department. My team have been hired to take things over. So yes, that just about surmises everything for you. We were contracted to take this case over, run further investigations, and ensure a thorough background check is done for each member of this team. Glancing over at Thomas, Augustus rose from his seat. What is going on here? Well, it appears you either don't listen well, or you were on the other side of Indiana. I just told you, I am in charge now, and if you do not like the sound of that, officer, the doors are open and you are free to go through them. I am already working this case. I worked my ass off for this, and I have taken so many chances, risking my life to allow a stooge like you to walk up in here and tell me he is taking over. This is some serious bullshit right here, Thomas. You can't let this fool. That's enough. The disrespect, the ill-mannered behavior. With all due respect, I apologize for his behavior, Sir Geraldo. He is just a bit upset about the situation, alongside being unsure who to trust after all that our department has been faced with these past days. If you just give us a couple of minutes alone, I can speak with him. Nonsense! Geraldo pulled his badge and identification card from his hip. I have no time for any father and son lovey-dovey tales. Your officer needs to learn how to respect authority, and as his senior, it's obvious with what was portrayed just now, there's a lack of respect for you. Now you see why we, the FBI, need to step in and take things into our own hands. Clean your shit up, Royal, or as I said, get your ass through those doors. Augustus looked over at Thomas, who had nothing to say. So you're just going to stand there and let this son of a bitch take over what we have worked so hard for? We have come so far, so fucking close. You know what? I quit. Fuck y'all. Augustus threw his badge and identification card on the desk, removed his holster, and carefully placed it on the desk. He turned to exit the door and looked back at them both. When you find out that they have hired a bigger criminal to work this case, Don't fucking call me. I'm done. He exited the office and murmured to himself, bloody FBI airheads. Hey, you're home early. Everything okay? You seem pretty tense. Helena was preparing lunch when Augustus walked in. I really don't want to talk about it right now. Maybe later. Well, you seem pretty tense, and I think it's best you talk about it now instead of cooling off, then get heated again later. What's for lunch? Something smells really good. Augustus, you know you can't shut me down like that. He sighed. I'll tell you after we eat, I promise. He kissed her lips, then turned away. I'm gonna head up, take a cool shower and join you. You'll be done by then, right? Sure, my love, Helena responded while watching Augustus climb the staircase. So, cutting her off, Augustus commended her cooking. This is really good. Where'd you get this recipe? Oh, I was watching a couple of videos on the cooking channel and saw this one. Thought I'd give it a try, and I'm super happy you're here to try it with me. Well, it's really very good, babe. I'm happy you like it. She decided to leave the topic of work alone and waited until after they ate, dishes washed up, and were settled in the television room. So what's up with you now? He looked at her. He didn't know how to tell her, in a way that wouldn't freak her out too much, but I quit. She flew up from her seat. You what? Are you stupid? Helena, I know, but hear me out. Hear you out? You quit. I am suspended. Who is gonna work this case, babe? The FBI. What the fuck? She dropped herself in the couch next to him. How the hell did that happen? Honestly, I do not know, and Thomas just sat there and let them. He seemed pretty troubled earlier when I was talking to him this morning. This all explains why. The guy knew this was going to happen and did not even tell me. Of all persons, this is my case. Well, our case. You know what I mean. And he just lets the FBI walk in and sweeps it from under our feet without saying anything. This is crazy, Lena. She didn't see anything. Then the guy says he's gonna do background checks on all members of the team. Like, who does that? Well, that's a good excuse on their side. I bet it's because of those two idiots. That's exactly what he said. That we are all under suspicion. How do we know they aren't coming to take over this case to cover shit that is even bigger than we see it? That's a good point right there, Gus. He threw himself back in the couch and they both sat in silence. Alright, so there you have it, my wonderful Gemini journalist fans. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule today to join me here on the Gemini Journalist as I read for you Chapter 8 of The Rookie, The Royal Wedding. Once again, if you have not checked the copies out, you have not purchased your copy, tap on the links down below in the description. You can go ahead and check out my book 1, The Rookie, Helena Carson Finds True Love. Also this copy, The Rookie, The Royal Wedding, which is book 2. Still working on book 3, which will be coming your way pretty soon. For the teenagers, especially those teenage girls who are going through rough times as you hit teenage pregnancy, life does not end there. Things do happen, but hey, I have a novel out for those teenage girls. So if you have a daughter, a sister, you name it, who you want to just give something motivational, you can tap on the link, check it out. My Rape Story, call it what you will, My Rape Story. That's also available in the link down below. All books available on Amazon, ebooks or paperback, you name it, check it out. Also remember, if you got kids that are learning how to count under the ages of 6 and under, I have the counting from 1 to 10 that's also available, digital copy only, so go check it out. Get yourself a copy. Once again, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join me here. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Thank you again for joining the Gemini Journalist. Your girl Ash saying, peace out, walk good.